The Perth Wildcats have been very good in the tight ones. And the Sydney Kings had their hearts broken in double overtime as Kazoo looked like the Julian Kazoo of last year on that one, with the lefty softly off the backboard. Lish has the ball deflected. Magin brings it up quickly to Kazoo. He puts it up nice and soft off the backboard. Julian Kazoo has the first 4 points for Sydney, and they're up by 6.
And he hasn't seen 2 easier shots in the last 5 games. Good work by the Sydney Kings to identify the big man, get him up and about for this 4th quarter.
Dan with the steal.
Graham Dan got pinged for the retaliation there. I thought Graham Dan got hit first and just tried to fend off and caught Sean Redditch with the elbow.
He should have called the first one.
You're right, but he missed it. No excuse to retaliate. There's a clear foul, and there's an elbow.
He popped him in the head. Clearly.
But they missed the first one.
How did he miss it?
Well,
he's standing right in front of him.
But he shouldn't have retaliated.
But I'm not saying he shouldn't have retaliated. I'm just saying, why did he call the first one?
I don't
or call
know.
a double foul?
No, there was a foul early on that they missed.
He practically took his head off. He retaliated. That's 2 fouls. Call 2 fouls.
Well, straight away, Rob Beveridge has reacted to Julian Kazoo with those first 4 points because he's brought Luke Neville back into the lineup. Damian Martin rising above, got a lot of ball. And here's the play there.
Man, that looked clean.
That is as clean as you'll want to see. Damian Martin, he has got some elevation.
He sure does.
Just a nuggety little point guard that never say die attitude.
Wait, I want to hear this. Yeah, he had some words.
I've been telling these girls to move. I'm running on the first play. I look at that, not that. I missed the call. Yeah. Too much body.
Damian Martin's got 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And he's got 3 points.
You know, we always talk about him about, you know, he'll have 3 points or he'll go 1 for 8 and still be a factor in the game. And tonight's no exception.
What a start to the 4th quarter by the Sydney Kings.
Kings have scored 11 straight. Neville has a shot blocked by Julian Kazoo. Kings aren't giving anything up easy and have scored the last 11 points. Martin to Redditch for 3. That rims out. Wildcats have gone cold. Magin, 1 bounce dribble going left, comes up short. Bowes with the rebound.
That's what I was talking about earlier. He is committing himself, and 3 out of 4 times he makes that effort and he doesn't get it. But 1 out of 4 he does. And that's what you got to do. It's a volume business when you're getting after the boards like that, and he's doing a great job of it. Anatoly Bose tonight.
Dan puts it on the floor and just throws one too hard to Luke Cooper. That's a matchup that Graham Dan can win from the perimeter every time. Luke Neville trying to pick him up on that switch. Lish back in. So's Toby. And a foul occurred on the floor. Toby back in. And he's quietly had a blinder, 6 of 7 from the field. I think you want him in here in the 4th quarter.
Anatoly Bose, the work he's done on Kevin Lish as well should not be undersold. He's a man who's in unbelievable form.
They get Luke Neville to handle the basketball out on the perimeter. Looked very uncomfortable with it and just threw it away.
Kevin Lish has been averaging 18 points in the last 6 games. He only has 4 tonight.
Bowes off the backboard, just too strong and tall for Kevin Lish. Kings up by 10. Lish in transition. It's off the mark. Graham Dan with a board. Kicks it ahead to Magin. They throw it to ANZBallaz. Kings got away with telegraph and a pass.
It was a poor pass too. It was well short. But how's the confidence, the tempo the Kings are playing at? You would think that this is more suited to Perth Wildcats, but the Sydney Kings taking it right up to the Wildcats. And they've got a 10-point lead. They lead at 72 to 62.
Welcome home.
I've been seeing quite a bit of Buddy.
The old beau, huh?
Buddy is a married man.
I've got baggage too.
I would find a therapist.
Young adult, now showing.
The war to defeat hair loss is now over. Advanced laser therapy fights for hair regrowth while strand by strand replaces hair that's been lost forever. That's a total victory.
Just like mine.
Call now.
Containment is the message. Contain your guy. That's where it's at. One shot, 5 guys on the glass. Come and get it. Run the lanes. Look to explore. Don't let up. No, don't let up. Yeah. On a 4-up. Gee, you're in. I want the entry. Jules, you're on that. So now you're on the bounce. You can backdoor that one and post him up. All right? Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
All right, now's the interesting time of the game. Sydney with a 10-point lead. 7:37 to go. You want to continue to put your foot on the gas or on the accelerator, but you don't want to take low percentage plays.
It is. It starts to become a bit of a mind game too, because the quick play and the transition baskets that got them this 10-point lead, if you keep playing that way, it allows the Perth Wildcats to get that lead back quick.
Very quickly.
You're right. If some good scoring opportunities are on early, you want to try and explore them, but if not, the clock is your friend at the moment.
And the way the Perth Wildcats pressure as ANZBallaz continues to struggle from the foul line. With Perth's full court pressure, you must have an element of attack in your head, not protect the lead. Bowes gets 1 or 2. Boy, after he misses one, his second one looks sweet.
Steve, the Kings have been in this situation quite a few times this season and haven't been able to close the deal. Julian Kazoo, they're one of the fouls that I think you were referring to earlier on in the game that are unnecessary. Sure, you've got to show out and jump out and help, particularly on a guy like Kevin Lynch, but keep your hands out of it, just stop the ball, allow the other man time to come back, because they need Julian Kazoo in ball games. He takes a spell. Dre Grant comes in. Dre Grant, 17 points tonight and 7 rebounds.
Wagstaff on a nice pass from Kevin Lish, and the comeback starts right here for the Perth Wildcats. They go about their business on the offensive end and turn up the heat on the D. Let's see if the Kings have enough in the tank to get this thing closed out. Weren't able to do it in Townsville. Magin, his floater doesn't get the roll. Lish, tough shot, and he kisses it off the window, and just like that, it is a 7-point game.
The circuit shot from Kevin Lish.
Dan drives past Neville, another block shot. Sydney Kings draw 3 blanks in 3 straight possessions.
And 3 not good possessions either, Steve.
Wagstaff on Graham Dan. Lish, shot clock to 7. His shot is long. Luke Martin doesn't screen him out. Neville with the jam. Perth Wildcats have scored 6 straight points. Sydney Kings with a timeout. And the Perth Wildcats show you why they are one of the top teams in the competition, along with the New Zealand Breakers. 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the game is tight all over again.
It is, Steve, and I know Julian Kazoo needs his spell, but he's got 3 fouls. But if I'm Moose Rebellion with this run coming on, I'm getting him back straight out as quick as I can. And just those possessions the Sydney Kings had. Execution, we spoke about the need to understand tempo and timing and the context of the game, and they didn't give the response that they needed.
You know, and in Townsville, it was Fallon, the three-point shooter. Graham Dan comes up with a mental error that swings the game. Julian Kazoo goes out and fouls 35 feet away from the basket on Kevin Lish. He has to sit down, and all of a sudden the Perth Wildcats run off 6 straight. Those are the little things that do not help you in the late stages of a basketball game.
No, and you just worry about the Sydney Kings and their mindset. They haven't been able to win too many of these close ones, and in fact, they've probably coughed up a couple where they had to do something extraordinary to cough them up. And when you get in those situations, confidence does become a factor, not just with your shooting, but your decision-making. And that little stretch that we saw there, decision-making wasn't good.
They get it up against the pressure of Perth. Still the Kings with a 5-point lead. Bowes shoots the 3 ball. That's an air ball.
The groans from the crowd.
The crowd can feel it.
They're 4 and 5 at home, the Sydney Kings.
45, singlet.
The noose around the
where
neck starting to tighten up.
Just when you need a basket, it's a desperate time. Your big fella sitting on the bench, and as I say that, Moose Rebellion points to Julian Kazoo and also Kevin Ratch to come back into the game.
Lish to Robbins. Robbins puts it on the floor. Finds Toby. He comes up short. Grant can't pull the rebound down. Lish for 3. That's off the mark. Luke Martin can't get it. Sydney need to slow it down, and they do.
Kevin Lish is not feeling it tonight. That missed by a long way.
Imagine to Dan, to Anatoly Bowes. They feed it into Grant. He runs into 3 Perth Wildcats. Bowes with 2 on the shot clock. Long. Bowes.
That was a volleyball spike. Great volleyball work by Graham Dan to go up in traffic and just hit it out.
Kings get another crack on this possession.
Sean Redditch called for the foul, trying to post up Jeray Grant. Julian Kazoo coming back in. Graham Dan, who again tonight has been solid. Good work on the glass. Kevin Rash also coming in for Anatoly Bowes.
Might be the free throws.
Just a quick spell, I would think, for Anatoly, because never mind about his offense, it's what he's done on the defense that's been impressive. Really making life miserable for Kevin Lish.
Grant just inside the 3-point line. That's not even close. Sydney's shot selection has been horrible. Here in the 4th, Lish puts it on the floor, finds Wagstaff for 3. Redditch with the tip over the top of Jeray Grant, and it's a 3-point game. Wildcats have scored the last 8. Luke Martin fouled by Brad Robbins, and Sydney will take the ball out on the sideline. Grant. Kazoo gets the feed. He backs in Redditch. His fall away comes up short. Wagstaff with the rebound in traffic.
I like the play though, Steve. Get it down low to Julian Kazoo. They didn't send a double. He got a good look off. And that's a costly turnover.
Kevin Lish with the dribble penetration. Throws a wayward pass to Jesse Wagstaff. Kings have not scored since the timeout when they were up by 10.
Don't hold him! Hands down!
Magin to Grant. Back to Magin. Creates space, but the ball's knocked away by Kevin Lish. Lish to Redditch. Counts for 3. I thought his foot was on the line.
They're going to check.
That's a good call. That is a good call. He had a foot on the line.
73-72. No one's called a timeout. The referees went to talk to each other about whether it was a 2 or a 3, and I think the teams thought there might have been a timeout on the floor, but just get a little mini timeout.
Catch ball free when you guys got the ball.
Anatoly Bose coming back in the game. Let's have a look. Sean Redditch. Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly. Right toe on the line. Big basket, though, by Sean Redditch. He's up to 14 points for the game.
But Tim Mills knew it was close. That's why he went and got some help on that one. Good officiating using all 3 refs.
Sydney Kings look tight and nervous.
And they throw it away. Bose gets a piece of it. Lish. Robbins. Kings burp it up again. 14 turnovers for them. Wagstaff for 3. Redditch with another offensive rebound. Wildcats take the 1-point lead. They have outscored the Sydney Kings 11-0 since that timeout. They're up by 10. 73-63. Wildcats have run off 11.
74 to 73. I can understand the excitement, Steve. And what a...
Yeah, we're on 4 fouls. Nothing cheap at all. We don't want to bail them out and they score from the free throw line. Everything they've got to do is got to be a tough shot. So challenge shots, and then we've got to get on the glass here. All right, we're small, so we've all got to get on the glass.
Hey, let's take this one. This one's ours. All right, we got him here.
All right, we're running flat 5. Flat 5. That's you, Sean?
Yep.
Yeah. So right now, Bobby, come off this here. Get deep. You're diving, Sean. You're staying. You're staying right now. We're looking to throw it back. Have a look at your 3. You're shooting the ball well. If it's not there, let's run a lift and slip that. Okay, so if you don't have your shot, let's get this slip action going. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boy, Sydney Kings with a 10-point lead.
Steve, they might have got it up as high as 11. At the time, we talked about the decision-making and their tempo, and they have looked petrified out here, and they've lacked leadership from the point guard position. No disrespect to Luke Martin, Ben Manson, and that, but their structure hasn't helped them either. They're coughing it up.
And there's another turnover closely by Sydney. This looks scary. Kazoo can't catch the ball. Sydney just a comedy of errors here in the 4th quarter.
Their snatching attitude. It was a tough pass, but one that was on, and Julian Kazoo needed to gobble that one up. There it is. He just was thinking shot before he even caught the ball and was just a little out of position.
A lot of game left. A little under 3 minutes to go. It's a 1-point game. Wagstaff puts it on the floor. Kazoo gets the steal. Let's Sydney see if Sydney can turn around their bad body language here late in the 4th.
Steve, with Kevin Lish trying to guard Anatoly Bose, I'd look to try and post him up. Again, playing for the foul. Anatoly Bose doesn't get the call, but just put him in the low block, run a little bit of motion, post him up.
Redditch. He comes up short, chases his own shot. Wagstaff, that's no good. Grant can't get it. Kazoo does. Magin off the backboard, that's good. Sydney now with a 1-point lead. The drought of 12 straight points for the Perth Wildcats comes Sydney with the lead. 1:45 to go at the end of regulation. Redditch for three. That's off the mark. Redditch gets it to Wagstaff. Sean Redditch with another second effort play. Comes up huge for the Wildcats. Perth now with a 1-point lead.
That's inexcusable. And, you know, they're standing around. The nervousness is now gone on the effort on the glass. You're not blocking out. You're not thinking straight. They're hoping the ball comes off the rim and just falls into their hands. They're not going and attacking the game. They're trying to let the game come to them. And they need to be more proactive on both ends of the floor, the Sydney Kings. They've taken Jeray Grant out. Graham Dan's come back in.
Imagine. A lot of contact, no call. Cooper finds Kazoo. That's off the mark.
That's a poor shot selection. Still 8 seconds to go. And they've got Julian Kazoo for a three in the corner.
Wildcats up by 1. They've won 5 straight and look extremely comfortable here in this late game situation. Lish creates space. Pull-up jumpers off the mark. Bowles with a huge rebound. Kings with less than a minute to go, down by 1. Cooper with the call of horns. Puts it on the floor. His floater's off the mark. Kings with another questionable shot down the stretch.
Highly questionable. Luke Cooper, I mean, he's in traffic. If he's wide open, you take that shot, but that is poor shot selection. This has just been an implosion by the Sydney Kings.
Sydney Kings led by 10 with 7 minutes and 37 seconds. And they have scored 2 points in 7 minutes. And the Wildcats have scored 14. A 14-2 run by the Perth Wildcats have them up by 2.
Just really shooting themselves in the foot with some of their shot selection, their turnover. Let's listen in to Moose Rebellion.
All right, we switch. We're in red mode. All right, it's got to be an aggressive red. We've got to be active out of it. All right, I don't have a timeout. We cannot foul. All right, offensively, go to a horns up to a stagger.
Make all this for them, horns up to stagger.
Horns up to a stagger. All right.
If we get a miss and we get out in transition, do you want us to go?
Yeah, we can get a 2 for 1 if we can. All right. This has to be an aggressive defensive set.
3, 2, 1.
Sydney, man, you got to feel for them. They lose a double overtime game that they had in the bag twice in Townsville last week. And then this one.
Steve, but this is not bad luck. This is bad play by the Sydney Kings. We've seen so many self-inflicted wounds down the stretch. Full credit to the Perth Wildcats, but they have been presented a gift.
Perth get it inbounds to Damian Martin. Kings, as you heard Ian Rebillard say in the timeout, do not want to foul. They're going to get another crack. They need a stop and a score on the other end. 1-point game. Lish to Redditch. He shoots the runner. That's off the mark. Bowles with the rebound.
10 seconds remaining.
Horns into staggers what they're doing. Kazoo turning the corner. That is off the mark. The rebound goes to Dan. He's fouled. To 2 free throws. Less than a second to go. Graham Dan, an average free throw shooter, will go to the line with an opportunity to win the game.
Graham Dan, who is below 50% on the season from the free throw line. 0.5 net, 9 seconds remaining. He needs to hit them both for the win. Right now, the Sydney Kings are probably happy to see this in overtime.
They sure want to see the first one go, that's for sure. Dan misses the first. Now this is to tie.
Mushabili can't look. Down the other end, the coach, he's turned away. He cannot look.
Graham Dan with a huge offensive rebound has an opportunity to take this into overtime. Plus Perth have the ball and have an opportunity to win it if he makes the free throw. Dan to tie it up. That's off the mark. And that's the ball game. Graham Dan misses 2 free throws. And an opportunity to win the game, then tie it.